Welcome to Best Buds Gardening. I'm Julie. Let's talk about how to grow red burgundy okra. Okra has a really hard seed coating, so the first thing we want to do is soak our seeds overnight. I'm going to soak 4 seeds. I only want 2 plants, but 2 of them might not make it, so just to be safe. Okay, our okra has been soaking overnight. And so the first thing I'm going to do is grab my little filter and drain these guys out. And then I'm going to grab a paper towel. I'm going to fold my paper towel into probably like fourths. And then I'm going to take my seeds and I'm going to put them on the paper towel. Ooh, that guy started to germinate a little bit already. Okay, and seed 4. Now fold your paper towel over the seeds. Don't let your seeds roll out. And then we're going to spray our paper towel so that it's moist. We don't want it wringing wet, just sort of damp. Make sure all of those seeds are coming into contact with the damp paper towel. Then we're going to put our paper towel into a baggie so it doesn't dry out, and okra germinates really fast. So we want to check this by like maybe tomorrow. Okay, it is the middle of the night, but I cannot wait. Let's see what we have. 3 of them have already germinated. Can you see the little white root coming out of the seed? Okay, so I've got 2 pots with pre-moistened soil. And this is just regular old potting soil, nothing fancy, no fertilizer at this point or you're going to burn your seedlings. Just drop them in the hole, pat them down. And as soon as these guys poke their heads out of the soil in a couple of days, I'm going to take them outside so I don't have to harden them off. And I don't know what we're going to do with that 3rd guy. Maybe we will give him to a friend. So we'll put him back in the bag for now. And we'll wait a couple of days till these guys, hatch out of the soil. All right, it's May 13th, and both of our okra plants are up out of the soil. We're going to let them grow in these little cups for about a week before we put them into the ground. This is our okra bed, and it's in a place where it gets full sun all day long. Okra loves full sun and it loves heat. We've got some compost and some unfertilized potting mix in here. There's no bottom to this bed, so the roots can go wherever they want. We're going to space these out about 1 foot apart because burgundy okra doesn't get that massively huge. And in about a week, we're going to start to fertilize these guys about once every 10 days. And any fertilizer for vegetables will work. If it's for a vegetable, it's fine. Any all-purpose general fertilizer. I'm going to make a hole for this guy over here and set him in the ground. And then we're going to give him a nice watering. I know that looks rough, but it's actually just mist. And then it's a little bit on the cool side for okra. It's like 75 degrees, so we're going to give these guys a little bit of a greenhouse effect with some plastic soda bottles that we've cut, and also helps with Mr. Bunny Rabbit, who happens to adore young tender okra plants. We're only going to leave these on here for about a week. But also be careful because these act as a magnifying glass as well. So when you water, make sure you don't get the leaves wet or they will sunburn so fast. It's only been about 5 days, but our okra is over the top of our little greenhouse bottles. So they no longer are going to serve a purpose. So I'm pushing down on the soil at the same time I'm pulling up on the containers. You do not want to uproot your okra plants. Be very careful. push down. Pull up. Okay, now as you can tell, we have some really ferocious winds in Kansas. Normally, okra does not require staking or caging, but just in order to protect them against fierce Kansas winds and storms, I'm going to put some tomato cages around them. I know it looks kind of silly now because the plants are so small, but in another week they're going to be halfway up these cages. It's about 2 months from seed to actually harvesting your first okra pod. And also, Mr. Bunny Rabbit, who lives under my porch, will still find these absolutely delicious. So, some bunny rabbit protection, chicken wire, and the tomato cages actually help support the chicken wire. So this all works together beautifully. Just wrap it around, and then I'm going to tuck in my little ends. You could use a clothespin, I don't know, a chip clip. Maybe you don't even have a bunny rabbit that lives under your porch and you don't have to do this at all. Wonderful. We will eventually take the bunny rabbit protection off when the plants get big enough. Bunny rabbit can't eat them anymore. But these are going to be on here for probably a month. So I've discovered that on the burgundy okra plants, this flower pod won't open unless you help it, at least on my plants. The flowers will just drop right off. So the day before my blossom opens, and you can tell because it gets kind of a little yellow color to it, I split this purple outer coating so that tomorrow when the blossom wants to open, it can. And I don't know why this is happening, but it is. So we'll wait for that guy to open tomorrow, and then we're gonna get him pollinated. If you have to hand pollinate your okra like I do, it's really easy. You just take a little paintbrush and see the yellow part of that sticks right to the brush, and then you just dab that on the end of the flower that's poking out. Just dibble dab it on there. That is a nicely pollinated blossom. Okay, this is the okra blossom that we pollinated yesterday, and that's the bottom of it. And that fell off today, and look what was underneath of it. A little baby okra. I know it's green right now, but it's going to turn burgundy. I promise. It'll start turning burgundy probably tomorrow. We're going to follow this guy on his journey until we pick him. Well, our little pod is about 6¼ inches long. It's time to pick him. Burgundy okra stays tender till the pods get to be about 8 inches long, so I like to pick mine between 6 and 8 inches. Isn't that beautiful? Here's another guy over here, about 7 inches long, so we're going to pick him too. So you are well on your way. Happy pod picking. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to see more gardening videos.